Hey guys, what's up? Lex here, and a couple things. Number one, I'm going to talk about the Switch event. I'm going to talk about what I liked and what I didn't like out of it, and what I ended up doing as far as pre-ordering. But also, I'm using my iPhone to record this, just to kind of test and play with what kind of videos work and how I should shoot them. Usually I use my Canon camera, but I have a lot to learn about that still, especially with lighting. The lighting is much different on that than it is with the iPhone. So I'm going to use the iPhone for now because it's less things that I have to set up. But anyway, the Switch event was last night, and real quick, things that I liked about the Switch event. Number one is that they showed off all the different things that you can do with the Switch, with all the different controllers, with the Joy-Cons, the different games that they're going to have. And I know a lot of people aren't big on 1-2 Switch, and really neither am I. But you got to understand that that's a casual game, and that's going to speak to that Wii Sports crowd that is going to pick this console up and maybe pick up 1-2 Switch and just have that party game to play. And it's going to be a lot of fun from what I've seen demonstrated on the Treehouse. ARMS, that actually looks like it's a quality game, but I don't think that it'll last. Like, I don't think that'll be a game people are playing for an extended period of time. I like the third-party support that seemed to be in play. A lot of the games were older games that we've already seen, we've already played before. And a lot of people, that's what a lot of people are hung up about, saying, oh, well, this is a 6-year-old game, blah, blah, blah. But we've never had the ability to take these kinds of games on the go. And definitely I've seen in this era of video games, visuals are cool and all, but they're not everything. And as long as the gameplay is good, and as long as the mechanics feel up to date, then taking these games and playing them on the go is what the Switch is going to be all about. So I think people who are hung up on that, oh, these are all older games we've already played before. Yes, but we're going to be able to experience them in new ways. If you're a PC gamer and you have Steam, then obviously you understand the appeal of being able to go out and buy an older game and replay it on your, updated, rebuilt PC, maybe play it with a little better graphics, or with a controller instead of a keyboard like you once could, but now it has controller support. That type of thing. That's what the NX, or the Switch, is all about. Also, the support of Dragon Quest, Shin Megami Tensei. You talk about Project Octopath Traveler, which actually looks really cool. A game from Square that seems to be an older style game, but with kind of modern gameplay mechanics. Also, the FIFAs of the world and the NBA 2Ks. Sports games are probably not going to do well on the Switch. I have a theory, though, for sports games, for sports game publishers. If you want to do well on the Switch, you need to make a deep single-player experience. And the reason I say that, you may think, well, local co-op is what's going to be great. No, it's not in my opinion, because sports gamers are very particular. They're not going to want to play on the Joy-Con controllers like this. That's not going to be the appeal of sports games. The appeal of sports games on the Switch is going to be running your franchise and being able to take the tablet out and take it on the go with you. If you have to run errands where you're waiting around a bit, you can use the Switch and do roster moves and trades and free agent signings, game planning, reading league news and stuff like that. Making a deep single-player experience for the Switch is how sports game publishers are going to succeed on the Switch. Also, we had Xenoblade Chronicles 2, which I'm excited about because I'm just now getting through Xenoblade Chronicles X, and it's a grind, but that's part of the fun of it. It's a game where you just pop it in for a couple hours, you run around, you grind, and upgrade your gear and all that kind of stuff. Just kind of marvel at the world and the giant monsters that are roaming around. Xenoblade's a really cool game, and I'm glad to see that it's going to be on the Switch in the first year. Also, Super Mario Odyssey obviously looks fantastic, and I'm not even a Super Mario 3D kind of guy. I prefer 2D Mario. I prefer 2D with most of these types of games, but this looks exceptional. One of my favorite 3D Marios is Super Mario Sunshine, and this reminds me a lot of Super Mario Sunshine. Also, Splatoon 2, which I told you I'm not really a huge fan of Splatoon. It's not really my style of game, but I like it because my son, he can go online, and I don't have to worry about him, running into people who are, swearing or saying really nasty stuff, and he can just go on there and play, and it's all good. And maybe I'll like it a little bit more with the controls of the Switch instead of the controls of the Wii U. Also, there were, some of those indie type games, not really indie, but kind of the smaller scale type games, like Super Bomberman R looks fantastic. I'm a big fan of Bomberman, original Bomberman, and just to see that on the Nintendo system, the new Nintendo system, kind of brings that back nostalgia. And I think that's what this system needs to be. It needs to be a system that celebrates its heritage. Even if that's 64 or Super Nintendo or going all the way back to the NES, it needs to celebrate that nostalgia, because a lot of people are nostalgic about those times. We're hitting the generation now where the people who were playing those games back when they came out are now adults with income. So very, very cool to see that kind of nostalgia play onto it. Now I want to talk about some of the things that I didn't like. Number one, I didn't like seeing, or not seeing, Mother 3 for that matter. The rumor obviously was that Mother 3 would be on the Switch, and it still might be. This in no way means that it won't be, but if you are waiting on Mother 3, it's just another milestone or another event that Nintendo's holding that, it's not there. It's missing again, and it sucks. I do believe it's there. I believe they have it. I believe they have it translated, and I think they'll probably announce it at E3 or thereabouts. So that was a bummer. Also, no mention really of Virtual Console at all. They did mention that they're going to have an online paid service that'll be free for the first few months, and then they'll start charging. Some details have gotten out since then, and they're not very good. The word is that they'll allow you to play an NES or a Super NES game for a month, and then you have to pay for it. So they're not giving away games for free as long as you have the service, like PlayStation Network and Xbox One, at least from what I hear. This is from what I hear. I still haven't heard solid info from Nintendo themselves on this matter, but it is kind of discouraging to hear that they could possibly be going down another bad road with their online service. The price point at $299.99, I figured it would be $250. It's $300. That's not bad. I mean, it's not great, but it's not terrible either. So, it's not a problem for me, but I can see some people who are banking on it being $250 or think that this is just a tablet. Spending $300 might be a little rough for them, but if you see how much all these pieces cost separately, if you were to buy them separately, then you'd probably see a lot more value in the $300 that they're charging. Launch date is March 3rd, which is right around the corner. It's less than 2 months away now, which is awesome because we don't have to wait for it. Not awesome, though, if you need to save up money for it. You're kind of stuck there. March 3rd is actually my wife's birthday, so that's going to be an interesting day. It's like, happy birthday, honey. I'm going to go play Nintendo Switch now. But she's actually excited for it in some capacity, too. So that should be a pretty cool day. Another thing that I was disappointed at, as I look at my notes here, the launch lineup is bad. It's pretty bad. I wasn't so down on it yesterday because I didn't quite know exactly what was going to be and what wasn't going to be launch day. But now that I see what is and what isn't, it's pretty poor. We have Zelda, which is awesome. And I think that's all that really matters, because I think Zelda is the game that's going to hold us over until something else comes out. But Super Mario Odyssey won't be out until holiday of 2017, which is a long way away. Xenoblade doesn't have a set date. Sometime in 2017, they said. Mario Kart 8 will be out in April, and that's like the deluxe version where they've got more tracks and more characters and the battle mode and all that kind of stuff. So there's issues here with all of this. The launch lineup is not good, but the first year of the Switch does look pretty good, because we're getting Zelda and a Super Mario 64 successor. We're getting Splatoon 2, and I say Mario Kart already? I think so. Let's see, Zelda, Super Mario Kart, Mario 64 successor, Splatoon, Xenoblade 2. We're getting those 5 games in the first year of this console, and then of course we're getting lots more from third parties and stuff like that. This is already looking much better than the Wii U's lineup, assuming none of those titles get pushed back, and most likely they will. So it's gonna be a wait and see thing. But I think the good thing about this is that having Zelda at launch is huge, because Zelda is a deep game. It's going to be a deep game that is going to hold our attention, hopefully, while all this other stuff is coming out. There are much worse games to have, like a Super Mario 2D side-scroller as your first game out the box, which people could beat in a day and be done with it. Zelda, it looks like it'll at least take you a few days of some pretty hardcore playing to be done with that game. So all in all, I'm excited for the Nintendo Switch. I don't think it was the best conference. I was certainly hoping for more. I was certainly looking for more Nintendo IPs like Metroid and like maybe Star Fox and F-Zero. I don't expect all of them to be there, Animal Crossing, but I did expect there to be a little bit more than that. But still, it's not bad. It's just a little underwhelming. I'm still excited for the Switch because of what it can do. You can take it and go anywhere and play it if you want to. I'm going to be going on a lot of vacations this year, and that will be perfect for me to bring with, as long as I don't lose it. I don't want to lose it because that's a lot of money. But just having that option there to play higher fidelity games than a 3DS, much higher, by the way, on the go is fantastic. I can see myself playing Zelda in the hotel room, or even bringing it to the park and, sitting down for an hour or so and just playing Zelda with the great, Universal Studios in the background, which is going to be the future site of Nintendo parks, or Nintendo features in these parks, whatever you want to say. I have pre-ordered the Switch. I have my pre-order in. I'm good to go. I pre-ordered the system. I pre-ordered Zelda, and I wanted to pre-order the Pro Controller, which is $80, by the way. The accessories are ridiculous on this. The Pro Controller's $80. If you want I believe it is the Joy-Cons with the charger dock, it's like another $80, was it $80, I think? Yeah, $80, $70 for a Pro Controller, $80 for the other controller. And then if you want the other stuff, it's like $90 for the dock. It's just insane. And you better not lose those things, because they're going to charge you a premium for them if you do lose them and want to replace them. But I wanted to reserve the Pro Controller. They just didn't have any up for reserve at GameStop. I did reserve the system with the gray Joy-Cons, Zelda, and a Zelda carrying case as well, because I'll need that just to keep the tablet safe when I take it out somewhere. Because the first thing I want to do is probably go take it somewhere, and just go on a walk maybe with it and play as I'm walking around. That's really cool. Anyway, that's my thoughts on the Nintendo Switch. Let me know what you guys thought. I know there's a lot of people out there that were disappointed in it. I know there's a lot of people out there that went out and reserved it. So where are you in the spectrum? Was there just not enough, or is Zelda enough for you for at least the first few months? Let me know in the comments. Like the vid if you want to share it around. That would be cool. It helps me out a lot. And of course, subscribe for more of these videos and other videos like reviews, commentaries, and all that good stuff. Until next time, I'll see you guys later. Bye.